Hey, what's up? Check, check, check. Hey, what's up? Check, check, check. Is this on? Let me see. All right, so today we're going to talk about this activist slash DJ who's actually a huge inspiration on myself, and actually I think in many ways is actually one of the best representatives of hip hop DJing, just period. And I've been planning on doing this video for a long time, ever since I started, really. And either I wasn't really there's multiple reasons why I stalled on the video, but I need to make, who knows what could happen tomorrow, so I need to really document this, because really her work really needs to be documented. So this is actually Kuttin Kandi. You could see multiple pictures of her right here. I just wanted to show the audience. I know that people want to see a face, but really you can't really, this is just our natural, we want to just look and then typecast or profile someone, right? But some people really, once you get to know them, you really understand that you can't really understand someone just off looking at a picture. I mean, people want to do that, but it's really impossible to do that. So the thing is that the depth of someone's work, right? You got to know someone over time. And let's look at Kuttin Kandi's actual website right here. Now, she's actually, I think she may be somewhat retired. She actually, she goes way back. So this is her website, kuttinkandi.com, and it says, more known as a DJ extraordinaire, plays many important roles in the music business. She's an elite battle DJ. This is true. A turntablist, a mixed DJ who can rock the mic. She's known as a poetess, passionate writer, and strong Pinay activist. She is. She's very, I'm going to get more into this particular topic right here and talk more about that. Now, the thing is that the DJing world, when you say, especially on the East Coast, right, people don't really recognize that Asian Americans have, done a lot of things in the DJ world. Now, the thing is, you have your commercial DJs, which are more like, probably more, the best known are maybe like Grandmaster Flash, maybe like, Cool Herc. I don't know how many people know Cool Herc out there, the mentor of the actual scratch and stuff. Those are for more like the scratch heads. So within the DJ world, you had people that were, performers like DJ Premier, DJ Pete Rock, and they were like who you heard on the record, right? Then about famous DJs like Bumpmaster Flex, or what's his name, Red Alert, and that was one realm of DJing. But there was also the battle realm, where people would compete, and Asian Americans for some reason loved DJing. I'll tell you what, I could tell you what got me into it. There was a couple of reasons, but anyways, it was just something that Asians really loved for some reason. And the thing is that there was, on the West Coast, right, the scratch pickles with the Filipinos were just destroying it. And on the East Coast, at the same time, right, not that they were necessarily influenced by the success of the West Coast peers, independently, just because Filipinos, out of all the Asian races, are probably the most into entertainment. They're the most developed as in terms of, you heard about K-pop and all this stuff, but Filipinos have always been around performance. It's just very much in their culture, and you can't really escape it. Also, they're, a little bit out of all the Asian groups, right? You hear about, Koreans or Harvard, stuff like that, but Filipinos are, I would say, a little bit more working class, and they have that element to them as well, right? So, everybody knows Chinese, Japanese, but Filipinos are kind of like their own little island, their own little kind of thing. We do know a couple of famous ones like Pacquiao, things like that, but once again, they're just they're a small community, and therefore they have some challenges that they have to overcome. So Kuttin Kandi, actually, what makes me really so impressed with her is she's actually, her career as a DJ, in terms of winning battles, she actually was the Texas champion. They've pioneered so many different things in the DJ and activist world, it's just not easy to just say, oh, this is who this person is. But as in terms of a turntable, she was incredibly successful at the time when this is no longer true, but she was for a long time the only DJ who had gone to the DMC USA finals. That was definitely true. She was a strong pioneer, and actually, I think the year that she did that, her whole crew actually invaded a whole bunch of different DMC regional events, and then it was they almost locked up the entire nation and got all the crew members to attend the USA finals. So that was a slick move, and once again a pioneering move, just in terms of competitive interaction. So in terms of DJing, she's really on one of the highest levels. She's right up there. People will know about like Qbert, and the scratch world, things like that. But Kuttin Kandi is a pioneer and a leader in her own right, just with turntable skills in general. And let's actually see if we can see maybe one of her routines. Okay, this was her at the actual. Let's take a look at that right there. Okay. But really, this is the activist channel, so her activist thing is really what brings her to the very, very top. But let's see just as a DJ, what she's got.
Here's Kuttin Kandi right here. Had one good jam, now you think you a star, bitch? The next man or the next woman, this doesn't make a difference. Keep the competition coming, and I recite the chapter in verse. The title of this recital is Ladies First. Recital is Ladies First.
That's an incredible routine right there. Does she go on? Does she scratch as well? She keeps going. She's nuts with it, yeah? And I got to see her live many, many times. She was very, the routine was very reliable. She did it just like that. And you could see it the way that she's smiling, the way she's relaxed with it. She's done that routine, so you can hear it on the record with the sound in the background. You know she's done that routine thousands of times. But she's also very clean with it. And I remember hanging out with the Fifth Platoon. That was her crew. She was DJing too, regularly at parties, stuff like that. And Rolly Roll was really, real heavy with the crew. I was so sometimes, right, we would be at a club and the turntables would be on rubber bands, or there would be like a rotary mixer. They wouldn't even have a crossfader, right? All the tricks that she's doing with the crossfader. There wouldn't even be a crossfader. But they killed it every time. Like they were really, really technically sound. They were the best. They won battles. I mean, these were contested positions. A lot of people wanted to have that title. Anyway, so let's go to her really her activism, which for me actually out of the Fifth Platoon made her actually the greatest member. So the thing is that way back in the day, this is from 1990s. That's more than 20 years ago. Anyways, yeah. So the thing is, what is it? Back during that era, there was the crew would have regular events, right? They would have parties, stuff like that. And every Thanksgiving, there would be. Let me see if that still exists. If any, it exists on the internet. A lot of things on the internet have disappeared. Thanks for giving Kuttin Kandi. Okay, every Thanksgiving she would do this event, and yeah, the evidence of this particular event has disappeared. But for years, she would actually do an event on Thanksgiving and collect and use the money they would collect to give to charitable causes, and that was pretty awesome. So she was already, community-minded at that time. Now, if we go to her more current work, which I don't think is really talked about so much on this site here, maybe it is, she actually went and became a doctor of, a professor somewhere, right? Of, not a medical doctor, but, a doctor of some type. Let's take a look at Kuttin Kandi. Does she have a LinkedIn or something? Okay, probably here we're gonna see something. Okay, she is a community organizer for nearly 25 years. She was really about that life, you know what I mean? She's disabled. She's queer. I didn't know that. She used to go out with Rolly Rowe, I think. Yeah, I could see her dipping into that though. Who knows? She was around a lot of these types of people. I guess you could say progressive style or lefties. She does a lot of kind of social justice stuff, I think. Writer, poet, theater performer, educator, hip-hop, feminist, community organizer, all true. She's an essayist, true. Does it talk about being a professor somewhere? Okay. She worked at UC San Diego. She's done time on the West Coast, but she's really from the East Coast. But she spent a couple of years over on the West Coast. She may be back on the East Coast. I don't know. She founded Asian Solidarity Collective. Very cool. She was working at in student life. Diablo Valley College. Okay, well, yeah, social justice diversity programming, right? Yeah. I think she also became a professor. Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance. She actually has performed at, there's multiple, Asian type themed events. She's worked with them. I've gone to them. She DJ'd at them. She was a very big name. They actually, Fifth Platoon also performed at these events, collegiate events. She has a very wide range of contacts. She's kind of gone quieter recently. Yeah, she was recently. This is not too long ago, right? It's about 4 years ago, but she was at Next Level Marines International Center, University of North Carolina, right, and even the U.S. Department Bureau of Education Cultural Affairs. She would get that. She is actually a top tier, just talent wise, just her accomplishments as a DJ already. Are amazing, but because of all this long background, right? She's spoken at over 150 colleges, universities. Yeah, for real. She provides lecture. She does community organizing, working provides various lectures on diversity, gender, sexuality, race, disability, justice. That's pretty cool, right? Disability justice. We're gonna see that. She does have a YouTube up, and I'm gonna go find that. She talks a little bit about there. But definitely, I know there's a lot of groups out there that are not comfortable with the way that I kind of barge in, and if you want to have someone who's very, I'm a fan of DJ Kuttin Kandi, right? I don't think she could really, you shouldn't trust anybody perfectly 100%, but and it's her priorities, or even my priorities, will never be the same as yours 100%. So you have to really empower yourself. That's just what's up. But this is Okay, let's see what Kuttin Kandi has to say for herself. We're gonna check this one, this ABS thing. Yeah, probably in the Filipino community, she would actually probably be the thing. The thing is that, right, as great as Kuttin Kandi is, right? Yeah, there's also this guy named Qbert who also happens to be Filipino, which is actually one of the best, probably if not the best, scratch musician of all time. So, like, if Qbert was not Filipino, right? Yeah, then probably Kuttin Kandi would be the one. But yeah, I like Filipinos are beasts, like as in terms of like entertainment and just skill wise. It's not like dancing, singing, acting. Like they are just really have extremely talented people in the entertainment fields. All right, so here talking about there was another interview that I'd seen. So here's a scratch session. Let's see a little bit of a scratch. Three bits we got. So this is Kuttin Kandi right here. Not bad at all. You know what I mean? Here we got what is this? This was protesting Hot 97. Many offenses against the hip hop community. Okay, interesting.
One, make some noise for
Is that Baba? Yo, I used to hang out at these things. Yeah, there was this ill beatbox named Baba. It kind of looks like that guy. Anyways, yeah. Those are like the people who those are really talented. I'll just tell you right now, these people are just on another level compared to myself. Just, I could admit that.
We're out there right now, and pretty much why we're staying, because we want to make sure they're okay.
That's Kuttin Kandi's voice right there, just so you know that. Yeah. We're gonna see some other footage though. I think there is an interview that I saw before that showed some interesting stuff. We'll look at the disability stuff, but let's look at this one. This feels more like I remember seeing this one before, and I was not really that as happy with this interview. But let's take a look at this thing right here. Okay.
Recognize you, recognize me, recognize this is all way beyond the name Kuttin Kandi.
A Filipina hip-hop queen, author, and activist who grew up in Queens, New York. But whether it's through spoken words, instrumental mixes, or in scholarly written fashion, DJ Kuttin Kandi uses her art as a platform.
I've always been a fan and lover of music. My father collected records. He drew me into loving music. And I was around a lot of DJs growing up. I was around a lot of Filipino mobile DJ crews as well, like Intrabase Productions, as well as 3DS were actually my first DJ teachers, these Filipino DJ crews.
20 years ago, she was the first female to place...
I do remember Intro Bass, yeah? They actually had a kicking little scene. They had some Indian guy with them too, yeah. They did a lot of like, the typical Asian American, like if you think back, right, yeah, the reggae music going, you know what I mean? The 90s hip hop, yeah, like, that's just what that era was, you know what I mean?
In the DMC finals, one of the most prestigious...
And if you're really into underground hip hop like that, you know who Guru is.
She had a group called Anomalies. She did get to meet all the big stars. She was around, her actually crewmate, Neil Armstrong, who I'm also a huge fan of. He's actually an activist in his own right, who's gotten more involved with, who got involved during the Bernie Sanders campaign. He was supportive of him. Anyways, that just helps people to get a quick overview of who these people are. But Kuttin Kandi was always kind of deeper with the activism. I just gotta.
For me, health in general, overall, is very important. As someone who survived a heart disease condition, as someone who had multiple heart procedures, I think it's important that we talk about health.
Right now, she's working with the U.S. State Department's Cultural Exchange Program and the University of North Carolina for a next-level hip-hop fellowship. Using her mix of art, feminism...
North Carolina is a very important state. We'll see. Yeah, I know sometimes she reads my emails. She hasn't done any interview, I get it, I'm a little wild and woolly out here. And, you know, honestly, you can't trust anybody in this thing. You know what I mean? People could go left, they could go right, you know what I mean? Or they could just go into, like, you know, go down or up. Like, anything could happen. So I'm quite, I never was really rocking with them like that. Like, you know, they were in their own, they were elite. They were elite, and
the
not in a
ways
bad
people
way.
who are of disabilities, you know, they're the fact that decisions are being made.
They were approachable, you know what I mean? But yeah, they definitely had, like, you know, a yeah, they were definitely elite in the game. There's no kidding. Yeah, they definitely brought it.
Basically working with the most marginalized in our communities. And so, without further ado, I'd like to present Dr. DJ Kuttin Kandi of the Asian Solidarity Collective. I can go on for days to talk about the incredible work.
Those ventilators, people with disabilities are going to be excluded from getting those ventilators because their life might be, quote unquote, life expectancy. So the ones who have no disabilities, who are not sick, who are not elder, you know, they're going to be determined to get the ventilator, while someone who's most vulnerable actually needs that. So it becomes this Olympics to get the care that they need, and it actually creates more division in our communities because of this. And if we lead with people with disabilities determining these decisions, we'll actually realize that those people with disabilities are actually saving all of us. And the fact that this government, the fact that elected officials.
You know, that's so I'll tell you, like, this is actually a good sign for me, and actually a very similar approach that I take myself, right? You heard me earlier say that, you know, you need to actually, you know, like the disabilities community, you need to actually mobilize them themselves, right? My actually flyer says believe in yourself, right? Not believe in me, right? Don't believe in LaRouche, don't believe in communism, don't believe in, you know, Trump or any of these, right? Or Biden or any of these, right? Yeah, or the Democrats, or, you know, whatever group label, you know, someone's saying is why you got to do what they say. Just do what makes sense, you know what I mean? And if you want to make sure that people are, you know, represented, they got to actually be in seats of power. So these you know, disabled people actually participating and the process is that's exactly my activism right there. So
these who are not sick, who are not elder, in those decisions is
Education focusing on people with disabilities.
but nowadays, right, yeah, you could see that this one only had 41 views a year ago. She's saying the real stuff. Anyone saying real stuff can't be talked about. 9 subs. I'm subbed out of 9. Damn, I ain't mad though. What are they really? Because they're probably not really coming out with content on it. They came out that one, and it seems like mostly Kuttin Kandi stuff, right? Be Real management. So whatever, you know. Anyways, Kuttin Kandi is a quality booking. Either for speaking or for DJing. Probably I would get her for both, really. Why wouldn't I? Oh snap, Rolly Roll. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Those people are ridiculous, yeah? Anyways. That's pretty cool. Anything else really that I could say about Cotton Candy? For a long time, they would actually do a lot of like smaller like community events. They did a lot of events for free, just for the love of it. They were really like the go-to people that you could call if you were doing an event to show up and just do it for the culture. You know what I mean? And Cotton Candy was really the lead, as in terms of especially the most proactive, as in terms of making activism happen. And proud that she went so far. I think she may have kids right now. I'm not sure. So that might be a reason why she slowed down, as well as in terms of output, like as in terms of, or maybe she's just doing things on bigger stages that I just don't get to see, right? I think there might be probably something on with this Asian solidarity thing. I actually emailed Kuttin Kandi, so since nothing really went forward with that, I never really followed the solidarity thing. I got my own stuff going on here. It's kind of crazy out here. She also may have positive relationships with maybe Asian American Journalists Association, who I'm kind of like, smacking around right now. So, yeah. That's really my battle, right? So, I can't be mad, yeah. The Filipino, even though they do have some history of occupation, history of, it's different because also like the Spanish influence, to me, they are impacted by World War II as well, yeah. As in terms of the anti-war thing, they might get, I think that China is actually, before popping off on the Philippines, or, Japan might pop off the Philippines, that's always in the cards. It is heavily, U.S. Troops are there pretty heavy. But the thing is that I do feel like Taiwan or Korea are, that's just that's my bias, right? I can't, I really don't know Filipino issues as well, but just so here's another tie-in right quick. I don't want to cut in too many other people. I could talk about I will, because it's Cotton Candy, because it is, I think, relevant, because it's other Filipinos and her historical precedence as in terms of just being a Filipino. So let's talk about it in relation to other Filipinos that are out here today, like Stephen Raga, the first elected Filipino American legislator. He knew 5th Platoon right away. We talked about it actually in the video of the exoneration. So he also, you could, if you're around during the 90s and you were anything into Asian American stuff, there's a good possibility that they would pop up, right? They're more the hip hop style, but they achieved big in their category. So they were, and they just were into that stuff. They did there used to be during the age of MySpace, there was like a MySpace, I don't know if it was a knockoff or was like the same, owned by the same people, but they did an event in Union Square, called Asian American Festival. And of course they had the 5th Platoon, which is Cotton Candy, Neil Armstrong, Rolly Rowe, right? I don't remember if, I know Neil Armstrong for sure was there. I don't remember about I think Cotton Candy was there. They also DJ'd for, there was a CD that came out. 5th Platoon CD, Asian. I don't even know if this still exists. Oh, Plugged In 3. Yes, okay. What is it plugged into? Was this even for, okay, so this was for AsianAvenue.com. Oh, snap. Yo, this is taking it back. Yo, this is crazy. Okay. Yeah. Kid Koala. Oh my god. Yo, the Mountain Brothers. Yo. Yo, Mountain Brothers. They did stuff with Mountain Brothers too. Yeah. That wasn't the Asian American rap group at the time. They are Chinese. Yeah. So, interesting. Yeah. This is crazy. Yeah. So, there was a whole little thing there, and I think that evidence of that time has kind of faded. but I'm glad to document as much as I can. And I encourage other people that are watching, if you have your own shows, to at least try to get Kuttin Kandi at least on an interview. She's not doing it with myself. I mean, I can't blame her. Maybe, you know what I mean? But try to get her on your show. You know, I mean, I think she has some fascinating information. She is actually an Asian American pioneer, a hip hop pioneer, worthy of interview for 50th anniversary. You know, I'm glad I did this. I would like to do it with more higher production values. But you know, I got to take care of the living and the active, right? Yeah. Maybe Kuttin Kandi is. It's tough to be in this field, you know. So maybe she got too beat up from being an activist. If she deserves a break, she could do whatever she wants. Anyways, really, yeah. But I'm a huge. What is this People's Collective? I need to follow these people and see what's going on. Are they still doing stuff? Anti-Asian racism? What? Is this? What is this? Is this related to Asian Americans? I thought this was more general. Okay. What is this? What is this? Okay, let's... I'm sorry, I'm diving onto this. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we will be diving into more of a hole here, another rabbit hole here, but Kuttin Kandi, once again, just much respect to I think one of the best to do it. She's definitely worth... oh, she's got a book? Let me see. I don't know. Was contributing writer for the book Reclaiming Our Stories. Okay, that's cool. Alright, so San Diego. She might be in San Diego now. She might be back in Queens. I don't know. Either way. Alright, well, that's, you know. Hit me up if you know about other activists that you want me to cover. I will actually be releasing more videos about pioneers like this. This is truly an Asian American activist pioneer, and you know, one of the greatest, I think, to do it. So I think whether history really appreciates her or records her or not,